Hi, this is Bronco Reynolds with the World News. Good evening. Thank you for tuning into the World News. This is Bronco Reynolds. Tonight's top story comes to us from the Great Lakes, where we're going to be examining the invasive species, the round goby. We'll be looking at the aspects and impacts of the round goby, as well as possible remediation strategies. The round goby, also known as Neogobius melanostomus, is a European species said to have originated in either the Black or the Caspian Sea. They were brought to North America by interoceanic ships in ballast water. At the same time, in 1990, another species of goby invaded the Great Lakes, but the round goby has spread the furthest, with the most success. The round goby is a soft, small-bodied fish characterized by a distinctive black spot on its first dorsal fin. Round gobies have large protruding eyes, as well as pelvic fins, which are fused into a single pelvic suction disc on the belly of the fish. Round gobies range in length from 4 to 10 inches and typically weigh less than 3 ounces. Male round gobies are larger than the females. Upon maturation, round gobies become mottled with gray, black, brown, and olive green markings. Adult male round gobies turn inky black during the spawning season and develop swollen cheeks. The round goby has successfully invaded all 5 of the Great Lakes because of its aggressiveness and voracious appetite. They often feed on small benthic invertebrates, zebra mussels, and native fish species eggs. This invasive species has moved into specific areas of the Great Lakes in a rapid manner. Let's take a moment to analyze some of the aspects associated with the round goby invasion of the Great Lakes. A study by Windsor University professor Linda Charlebois showed that round gobies in North America are able to mature and reproduce faster than the same species in Europe. Because the round goby reproduces so young and at a high rate, native species that only reproduce once per year may not have the chance, depending on the time in the season. Females have the ability to reproduce up to 6 times per year, while males will only reproduce once in their lifetime. The males will aggressively guard their nests and are able to push native species from their usual spawning areas into deeper waters. The round goby's diet consists primarily of benthic invertebrates. In addition to benthic invertebrates, which constituted 80 to 90% of the food content, and fish, from 2 to 13%, trace amounts of snails, crustaceans, chironomid larvae, and goby spawn were also noted. Studies by the University of Michigan show that the presence of round gobies significantly reduced densities of total non-muscle invertebrates and caddisflies, resulting in an increase in turbidity. These results demonstrate that round gobies are altering benthic invertebrate community structures and algal resources in nearshore rocky areas of the Great Lakes. As gobies feed on the bottom, they consume the spawn and hatch of other fish species. In addition to accidental feeding, opportunistic gobies will actively prey on vacant nests. Laboratory studies of goby feeding patterns, conducted by American researchers Chotkowski and Martson, indicated that gobies intensively consume the spawn and hatch of sea trout, even though other types of food were also available. The demise of native species can be attributed to the round goby, outcompeting them for food and for shelter. Round gobies interfere with nesting sites, thereby causing recruitment failure. In addition, the goby displays aggressive behavior when interacting with various species, such as the mottled sculpin. The response of the mottled sculpin and Johnny Darter to the invasion and proliferation of the round goby was examined at 3 near-shore locations in southern Lake Michigan. Fish were collected by trawling over an 18-year period. Mean annual catches from 1984 to 1998 showed anywhere from 0 to 29 fish caught per hour. Round gobies were first sampled in 1998, with relative population growth in the following years, ranging up to 371 fish caught in a 1-hour period. From 1999 to 2002, only a single mottled sculpin and 12 Johnny Darters were collected in 72 hours of trawling. To investigate this issue even further, the World News team was lucky enough to have the opportunity to meet with Dr. Heise, one of the most renowned research specialists in the field of goby remediation. Dr. Heise has been kind enough to give us an overview of some of the different remediation strategies that he's been studying.
Electrical fencing. Constructing an electrical barrier may prevent the spread of the round goby. This underwater electric fence sends a vertical electrical current through the body of water and prevents organisms from moving between bodies of water. The electrical barrier sends a current through 3 feet of water and therefore only prevents benthic organisms from passing. The solution of implementing an electric barrier would only be used to prevent the spread of the round goby and does not focus on the elimination of the goby itself. The construction of the electric field would require a large startup cost and maintenance. Commercial fishing. The round goby is commercially fished in its native waters of the Black and Caspian Seas. Fisheries use a range of different catch techniques, including long lines, angling, trawls, and fine mesh nets. Gobies are either canned or sold fresh, where they are fried or salted for consumption. In the 1930s to 40s, annual catches in the Black Sea were around 4,000 tons. This represents approximately just over 6 million adult gobies caught per year. In select regions in the 1950s, the yearly catch of adult gobies was over 75 million per year. In combination with factors such as habitat degradation through various forms of pollution, it seems that overfishing of the goby led to its demise. Creating a fishery and simultaneously a market for the goby could provide us with a win-win solution to the problem of this invasive pest. The benefits of a goby fishery would be twofold. The goby fishery makes profit selling the goby catch, and in return yields of the main fishery species improve. Ballast water exchange is one method of reducing additional introductions of foreign organisms and may enable us to slow the spread of these unwanted species into our waterways. Ballast dumping regulations within North American waterways may help to prevent the spread of exotic species. In late August 2009, the U.S. Coast Guard published proposed regulations to establish quantitative standards for ballast water treatment. Proposed standards would initially follow standards developed by the International Maritime Organization. Manipulation of nest sites. Round gobies require suitable nesting areas during spawning season, which include some structure in the water such as rocks, wood, or debris. If the abundance of goby-friendly nesting sites was severely reduced or eliminated, the mating success of the round goby would also decline. Unfortunately, native fish species, such as bass, also require nesting sites similar to the round goby.
I had the opportunity to meet with Jim Bob Cedarwillow to discuss the effects that the round goby has had on local residents. Bronco Reynolds here with the World News, down on the waterfront, reporting on the round goby invasion. Excuse me, sir! Would you mind coming over here for a moment?
Oh yeah, man, no problem.
Hi there, I'm Bronco Reynolds with the World News. What's your name?
Jim Bob Cedarwillow.
Jim, can I ask you a couple questions about how the round goby invasion has affected you?
Yeah, no problem. You know, Bronco, I've been fishing these waters for 30 years and he was catching pike and bass and you name it, but ever since the round goby invasion, that's all I can catch. You know, those round gobies are really taking their toll on our native species. Hey, you! What are you doing?
Excuse me, World News! This is Bronco Reynolds with the World News. What exactly is the situation here?
I'm the conservation authority for these parts. I'm just checking out what's going on. What are you doing there?
Oh, just releasing some round gobies back into the lake here that I caught earlier.
You realize you're in violation of the law?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Round gobies are an invasive species that threaten our natural ecosystems.
Oh. Well, it's more evident now than ever that the round goby invasion is affecting more than just the natural species. So what can you do to help? Well, for one, learn to identify the species. And secondly, if you are to catch the round goby, please do not release them back into the natural environment. Instead, call the Fisheries Management Agency. This is Bronco Reynolds reporting for the World News. World News out.